we are live. Hold on one second. Let's make sure we are live. Hold on. All right. Let's make sure we're live here. All right. One second. Hold on one sec. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Hold on one second. Let's get everything all set up here. All right. Let's get ourselves all set up. Let's make sure we are live everywhere. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Wednesday. Hold on. Let me just get this drink of me. Woo! That's that stuff right there. That's that stuff. All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Wednesday. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday. I'm just chilling like a villain right now. All right, one second. All right. So, how's everybody doing, man? Put it in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen. Right now, today, we are taking a look at NCRA. I'm taking a look at NCRA. It's a Taiwanese stock. Moving on acquisition news. So that's what I'm keeping an eye on right now. I'm keeping an eye on it, but however, I might not be keeping an eye on it for much longer here. It did have a nice run earlier in the day. Ran up a nice 115%. Prior to its droppage there, but it did move up a nice 115%. So you know how it is, ladies and gentlemen. Had a nice price spike up, shot up like a rocket, and then pulled its way back down just a little bit. But it did have a nice shot upward there and was looking pretty schmexy to meow, and then kind of started pulling its way back down, forming a bit of a descending wedge and moving below the VWAP at $2.64. Has to break above that VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. Give me 1 second. All right. One sec. All right. Hold on. Just got to fix some. It's doing that glitch on the Obitubes. Give me 1 second. There we are. Hold on. Alright. Yeesh. Alright. There we are, ladies and gentlemen. There we are. Okay. Beautiful. Alright. There we are. Boom. But yes. Looks like it's trying to curl up a little bit. NCRA, keeping an eye on it. Let's get a graffiti pencil over here. Bop right there, and bop right there. Currently on a bit of a descending wedge. Needs to break this descending wedge in order for it to break above this VWAP right over here. Needs to break above this VWAP at 263 for it to be schmexy to me. You know how it is, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make sure we're live on X. Are we live on the X? Alright, let me make sure. Alright. Marty says, good morning, Banger Nation and Doubles. Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Good morning, Marty. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're making lots of money. Money. All right. We are live on the X. Yes, we are. Let's make sure we're live on the Twitch. Yes. Good. Let's make sure we're live on Facebook. The Facebook. Legal says hello, doubles. Legal, hello, brother. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're making lots of legal money, legal money, legal money. Yes, sir. Hope you're making lots of legal money right there. Joab says, good morning, Banger Nation. Good morning to you, Joab. Good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right. Nick on Facebook says, good morning, doubles. Good morning. Good morning, Nick. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right. There we are. There we are. All right. Joab says, what's good, what's up, Marty and doubles? I'm doing good, Joab. I'm doing good. I'm having a good old time, making sure everything's all set and ready to go. But yes, I'm having a good old time. Played some Resident Evil last night with my wonderful girl. Had some fun. Got to chill. Hey, can't hate on it. You know what I mean? Had a good time. Having a good time. Living the dream, brother. Living the dream. That's what you got going on right there. Who's better than that? You know what I mean? Ain't nothing better than that. Casey says, morning, let's find some bangers. Yes, let's find some bangers, Casey. All right, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, if you have any stocks you want me to take a look at, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. I'm taking a look at NCRA right now. Ran up a nice 115% earlier in the day. Shot up on a major price spike right there. Proceeded to form a bit of a descending wedge. Needs to break that descending wedge and needs to break the VWAP as well at $2.63 for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. All right, and that's what we got going on right now. They exploded up 115% on a QMAX acquisition. They basically made an acquisition on something called QMAX, and since then it kind of started running. So you know what I mean. It kind of started running right there. Yeesh. Hold on one second. All right. So yeah, that's what it did right there. Hold on one second. One second. Boom. Right there. Just got to get everything all up and ready to go. Boom. Get that set up right there. Get the announcements out for everybody. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, I've been keeping an eye on this stock right here. I'm going to be looking at some of the other stocks in just a second. Just got to get everything all set up over here. But yes, NCRA is a Taiwanese stock, so I don't entirely trust it. But it did have a nice move early in the morning. Earlier in the morning at 8:09 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Had a nice move, so can't be too mad about it. Can't be too mad about it, you know. It moved up, eventually pulled back down, you know what I mean? So it is what it is, you know. All right, let's see here. All right. All right. All right. Let me just get this shared up on the socials, and we're good. All right. Boom. There we are. There we are, right there. There we are. Boom. There we are, right there. All right. All right. All right. All right. There we go. All right, we're all set. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this over here. Let's talk about NCRA real quick. Then we're going to take a look at some other stocks over here. Marty says good morning to Casey. Good morning, right there to Casey. All right. NCRA called this stock on our private Discord prior to its run up 115%, needs volume to curl and break the descending wedge and the VWAPA at $2.62 for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. There we go. There we go. That's NCRA. Let's take a look at AMIX, AMIX, AMIX. All right. Let's take a look over there. Has a 525,000 float. Volume is 15 million right now, so we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. All right. So it has a 15 million float right there. AMIX, all right, has unconfirmed news due in 14 days for Q1 earnings on Wednesday, August 12th after the market close. Currently up 61%, 61% right there. Had a bit of an A to B, B to C, C to D pattern over here before dropping itself back down all the way over here. Bop right there. And then temporarily curled its way on up before dropping down once again. And it looks like it's trying to curl off that little descending wedge right there, but it's a little bit consolidated right now, so it is just consolidated just before the VWAP right there. So AMIX, AMIX consolidated below the VWAPA at $4.64. Not looking too schmexy to mya as of now. NCRA trying to test the VWAP right now. Trying to test the VWAP. NCRA testing the VWAPA at 262. Needs to break VWAP and the descending wedge. All right. All right. STFS needs to break the downtrend. Needs to break the downtrend and looks like it's trying to curl its way on up. Trying to curl its way on up off the downtrend a little bit. We'll see what happens there. STFS. STFS trying to curl off the downtrend. Needs volume to break the VWAPA at $5.28 for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. VIVK. All right, VIVK on the uptrend right here. Bit of a choppy one, but it is an uptrend. It is moving above the VWAP and above the 90 MA, but it is becoming a little bit extended. Needs to really hold above that trend line going upward over here. Let's get some support and resistance lines right over here as well. Has to break above the high a day at $2.98 for it to be schmexy to me. Has to hold above it right there. So VIVK needs volume to remain friends with the trend and break the higher day at $2.98 for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. There we go. There we go. All right. STFS. Still trying to curl. Still trying to curl up. It's going to need to It's going to need some volume to just move up there, though. STFS. Alright, STFS has a 1 million float, 8 million volume. Needs to use some of that volume to curl its way on up. Otherwise, not schmexy to me. STFS needs volume to continue its climb up towards the VWAPA at 528 for it to be so much schmexy to me. Yeesh. DFNS. This one has a 780,000 float, 4 million volume right there. Alright, needs volume to break above the descending wedge right over here for it to be so much schmexy to me. Yes, sir. Needs volume to break that descending wedge right there. So we'll see what happens there. DFNS up 35%. Needs to break the VWAP. It's a little bit pricey, so DFNS up 35%. Needs volume to break the descending wedge and the VWAPA at $34.90. There we go. There we go. There we go. Alright. Alright. Good. Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, by the way, let's get a share party going on. Let's get to the first 200. 200. Let's get to 200, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to 200. Alright. Woo. Alright. Let's get to 200 right there. Hold on 1 second. There we are. Let me just make sure everything's copacetic on X real quick. Bop, right there. Alright. Alright, there we go. Yep, we're good on the X. Yes, we are. Okay, good. Good. Just gotta make sure. Gots to make sure. Alright. In the meantime, let's take a look at STFS again. We're going to take a look at STFS. DFNS, by the way, trying to curl off the descending wedge right there. DFNS trying to curl off the descending wedge. Trying to curl off the descending wedge. Needs to break the VWAP at 34.90. Expensive. Right there. Just got to put that right there. Boom. There we go. Alright. And then STFS. Still trying to curl, but not really there yet. STFS still trying to curl. Still trying to curl. Needs to break 528. VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. There we go. Alright. Sky Q has a 5 million float, 3 million volume, so I don't entirely trust it right now. It does have a slight movement upward a little bit, and even then, that's questionable. Let me put the graffiti pencil activated over here. Let me activate that graffiti pencil over here. Bop, right there. Needs to break through. Oh, formed a small, tiny resistance as well right over here at 452. So needs to break resistance at $4.52. Sky Q, SKYQ. needs volume to break resistance at $4.52 right there. $4.52. Yeesh. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. AMIX. AMIX. Consolidated below the VWAP. Consolidation below the VWAP. AMIX consolidated below the VWAP at yeesh. One second. One second. Let's see how NCRA is doing. Oh my. NCRA curled its way back up. 172%. Oh my. 173. Oh my. Oh my gration. Oh my gration. 175. What? Ooh. Called it, baby. There we go. NCRA. Massive curl upward at 175, excuse me, percent. Boom. Called it, baby. Needs volume to break the new high a day at $4.57 for it to be schmexy to mya. Alright, there we go. There we go, there we go, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get a share party going on. Let's get the 400, 400, 400, 400. Bobo Beeb says, howdy, howdy, Bobo. He says, hearing you, Lima Charlie. Copy that, Bobo. Yes, sir. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. All right. There we go. There we go. All right, all right, all right. All right. All right. There we go. There we go. Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree. Bo Beef says, what's up to Marty, Joab, and Casey? Joab says, Bobo! Yes. NCRA, by the way, hit 176 before pulling back a little bit, forming a bit of a resistance right over there at 353. NCRA. NCRA hit 176%. There we go. Beautiful. All right, all right, all right. All right.
No, Sarah was a singer.
All right. What happened?
No, Sarah was a singer.
No, Sarah was a singer.
Summertime.
Oh, summertime, summertime. That one?
That one.
Oh, wow. Okay. NCRA also has a resistance line now, has a new resistance over here that it has to break above before it can break above 381 and 457, because it did pull back a little bit, formed a bit of a top tail. We don't like the top tails, we like the bottom tails. NCRA, NCRA. Yeah, yes, it's all about the bottom tails. Yes. NCRA needs to break the resistance at $3.53, 353, for it to be somewhat schmexy to me before it could break above 381, and then the high of day at 457. That's what we got going on right there. Yes, sir. 1 million float, 31 million volume. You know how it is. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let's take a look at AMIX, AMIX, and it looks like NCRA, by the way, broke that resistance. Has to break about 381 for it to be schmexy to me. AMIX, AMIX. All right. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. All right. All right, all right, all right. Hold on 1 second. Let me just stretch. Ooh. Ooh. Got that stretch. You ever get the crick, crick, crick in the back? Yes. All right. TERG. Let's take a look at TERG. Ooh, never mind. Let's not and say we did. Yeah. It's choppy, choppy, choppy. Take a look over here. It's stinky, stinky at Fortnite 90. Oh wait, wrong show. No, but TERG is Garbaggio. TERG, Garbaggio. TERG, TERG, choppy, choppy, and needs volume to break the choppy price action and indecisive wicks right there. Needs to break those for it to be so much maxi to me. Let's get a share party going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to 500, 500, 500, 500. Yes. All right. Hold on 1 second. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. All right. All right, all right, all right. Let's get that share party going. Let's get to 500, 500, 500, 500. All right. All right. Hold on 1 second. Boba Beef says TERG needs time in a love bubble. Yep, yep. Needs time in the love bubble.
If you know, you know.
That's going to be a running gag, isn't it?
You can learn about that in Power Play.
Yeah, you can learn about the love bubble in Power Play. There was a whole lot of McLovin in Power Play yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, love was in the air. Yes.
I was giving us some Coach love.
Yes, yes, yes.
Coach Nick love right there.
Yes, sir.
Giving them some Coach Nick love. Giving them competitors some Coach Nick love.
Yes.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Doubles. Ooh, doubles.
Yes.
I don't want to brag or nothing, but you know, I'm going to brag a little.
Yes. All right. Yo. Yesh. Hold on. Just gotta make sure this is good. Alright. 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 There we are. Alright. There we go. Bad. Bad alarm. No. No, it is not time for that. It is not time for waking up and stuff. We already did that. We are awake. That's like the weekend alarm. Yeesh. Alright. VIVK. VIVK. Let's take a look at VIVK. Yeesh. Yeesh. Alright. Let's see here. VIVK still on the uptrend. Bounced off the support line at 274. Trying to curl its way on up. Really needs volume to break above 298. Alright. Needs to break above 298 for it to be schmexy to mya. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Alright. Alright, alright, alright. Hold on 1 second. And it has been a bit overbought on the RSI. Has been a bit overbought on the RSI right there. So yeah. VIVK, VIVK. Alright. Yeesh. Yeesh. VIVK on the uptrend as of now. Needs to break above 298, which is the high of day. VIVK curling. Bounced off the support line and needs to break the high of day at 298 for it to be schmexy to mya. For it to be schmexy to mya. Yeesh. Alright. NCRA still at 159, still at that 159 area. TRG needs some time in a love bubble. Oh, God. Yes. Yeesh. Alright. Let's see. Let's see here. DFNS. We'll do DFNS. 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 Tried to curl a little bit. Pulled back. Formed a bit of a resistance right over mya. Right over mya at 33.99. Formed a bit of resistance at 33.99 just before the VWAP at 34.87. Alright, DFNS, DFNS, formed resistance at 33.99. Prior to its run up, right, formed resistance at 33.99 and needs to break VWAPA at 34.87 for it to be schmexy to mya. There we go. There we go. Yeesh. Alright. Yeesh. Yeesh. Alright. VIVK. VIVK. Oh, formed a little bit of a resistance line over here. Good lord. Lordy. Needs to break 281. VIVK needs to break a small resistance at 281. Needs to break slight resistance at $2.81 before it breaks above the high of day at 298. Needs to break that right there. NCRA seems to be curling a little bit. Formed a bit of a resistance as well. Needs to break above 396. 396. NCRA needs to break the resistance at 381 and 396 before breaking the high a day at 457. 457 right there. Bum. Yeesh. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get a share party going. Let's get to 700. 700. Alright. Hold on one sec. Just gotta make sure this is all copacetic here. Yeesh. Good. Good. Alright. Ooh, what's this? The Coachmeister General has just put out a power play SmackDown update. 35.1% win ratio on Coach's zero build victory royale win rate right there. So he's got a 35.1% win rate. For those of you who don't know, that means more than more than 1 in 5. 1 in 3 of Coach's games in zero build and end up in wins, meaning at least one out of every 3 games will end up in a win normally. That's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's pretty good, right there. Woo! Yeesh. That's the stuff right there. Coachmeister General. The Coachmeister General putting in work. The Coachmeister. I might even write that down in Twitter. The Coachmeister General putting in that work in Fortnite on power plays.
Got more for you. I got something else for you.
With a 20.7 build victory royale win rate as well. Ooh.
Let's go, baby.
With
a Banger Nation.
Yeesh. 35.1%.
In the duplication market.
Yep. In zero build. And a 20.7% win rate in build. Let's go.
Like that, yo. Like that, yo. Like that, yo.
Check out the Power Play Show. ladies and gentlemen. Check out the Power Play Show at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Let's go.
Yes. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Coach Meister General will be putting in that work on Fortnite. Belt to what now?
Belt to ace.
Ooh, belt to booty
ace.
cheeks.
A little belt to ace.
Put a little belt to cheeks right there. He said, "Come here." Bing.
Get over here.
Yes.
Get over here.
Yes.
Get over here.
Ooh-wee.
Get over here. Now.
Yes.
Like that, Doubles.
All right.
Like that, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
Banger Nation.
The Banger Nation. Ooh. Yes. All right, all right, all right. All right, all right. All right, all right, all right. All right. Good. There we go. Okay, wonderful. Just got to get all that stuff right there. Okay, let's take a look. Let's take a look back at. Let's take a look at some requests. Actually, let's take a look at some requests real quick. Got some requests anyway. Let's take a look at some requests. Boom, right there. Bop. All right. Let's take a look at some requests, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh. Okay. Someone requested SkyQ. All right, SKYQ. SKYQ consolidated below the high of day at $4.60. Not looking particularly schmexy to me. SKYQ consolidated below the high of day at $4.60. $4.60. Alright, that's SkyQ right there. Meh. Not interesting to me, really. Let's take a look at another one. Someone requested ENTX. ENTX. Trash. Garbaggio. East Garbaggio right there. Look at all these. Look at all these indecisive wicks. Look at all these. Ugh. Trash. Alright. ENTX. Low volume with more chop than a butcher shop. Yes. Yes. Alright. VIVK. Someone requested VIVK. Alright. VIVK. Not schmexy to me. Alright. Needs to break 283. Has to hold above 274. Alright, VIVK. VIVK needs volume to break resistance at 283 and hold above the support line. Needs to hold above that for it to be so much maxi to me. Let's take a look, see what else we got here. Alright, we got SKYQ, already did that one. BIYA, Baya, let's take a look at Baya. Indecisive wicks, no. Baya, see you later. Down 17% China stock, not looking schmexy. BIYA, Low volume with indecisive wicks and choppy price action right there. Yeesh. Alright. AMIX. AMIX. AMIX needs to break $4.46, which is a bit of a resistance. AMIX needs volume to break the $4.46 resistance line, and the VWAPA at 463 for it to be somewhat schmaxy to me. There we go. Yes-sirree. Alright. Woo! Okay. Alright. Alright, so. Yeesh. Let's see what else we got here. We did AMIX. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's see. Alright, one sec. Great, let's do that. Alright, we're going to go back to VIVK. VIVK, see how VIVK is looking. VIVK. VIVK is still trying to curl back up. Needs to break that resistance still at 283. Testing the resistance right there. VIVK testing resistance at $2.83. For it to be so much maxi to me. There we go. Alright. Alright. SkyQ, SKYQ, consolidated, along the support line, consolidated along the support line. Not schmexy to me. SKYQ, consolidated along the support line. I'm going to take a look at NCRA because I think something's moving with it. Alright, NCRA. NCRA. Ooh, come on. Come on. You had me all excited there. Come on, NCRA. You're teasing me. NCRA teases me. They're teasing me. I've been teased. By the way, their shares are trading higher after they announced they acquired a 30% interest in QMAX technology. QMAX technology right there. They acquired a nice little interest, a little bit of an interesante in the QMAX there. Yeesh. 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 Alright. Actually, let me get this over here. Alright. There we are. So, NCRA is just teasing me at this point. NCRA teases me. It teases me. Why does it do that? Why do you do that? NCRA teasing me. It just teases me. It's like, ha ha. No. Stop it. Stop it. Okay? Okay. Me. But it is forming a little bit of a double top over here, so hopefully it can break the double top right there. But it looks like it's forming a slight double top. NCRA. NCRA. Starting to form a double top. Needs volume to break the resistance at 397. 397 right there. 397. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Alright. Alright, alright, alright. Okay. Alright. SKYQ. Someone wants me to look at it again. I don't know why. It's kind of not looking schmexy. Alright. It curled up a little bit. It curled up a little bit. It's up 25% though. Curled a little bit, formed a new high a day. SKYQ, I'll give it credit, but it is a top tail. We don't like the top tails, we like the bottom tails. SKYQ curled up and formed a new high a day at $4.70 for it to be schmexy to mya. But it's meh, Needs more volume, really. Needs more volume. Needs to break above 470 and needs to just keep climbing, man. Because SKYQ is a 5 million float, 3 million volume. It's moving on low volume. Not particularly schmexy to mya. So we'll see what happens there, ladies and gentlemen. We shall see what happens. Yeesh. Alright. Let's see. What other stocks do we have? Let's see here. Let's see. Anuj S for GMM. Let's take a look at GMM. GMM. Alright. Now, GMM has a float of 2 million, 8 million volume. That's always good. Right there. This is a China stock, so not exactly one that I fully trust. Up 33%. Global MOFI shares are trading higher after the company reported a year-over-year increase in H1 sales results. So they got that going on right there. But the thing about this is that it kind of formed sort of, and when I say sort of, I mean like sort of, a potential cup and handle, maybe, but it is below the VWAP, right? So it's going to need some serious volume for it to really break upward over here, right? GMM does have somewhat of a cup and handle there. So, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with it. Really needs to break that VWAP at $3.49, $3.49 for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Yeesh, $3.49. So GMM needs volume, forming a cup and handle. Alright. Needs to break the VWAPA at $3.49 for it to be schmexy to mya. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Alright. Let's get a share party going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 1200. 1200, 1200, 1200 right there. Yes, 1200. Yes, sir. All right. Let's get a share party going. Let's get the 1300. 1300. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right. So, yeesh. That's what we got going on over here. Hold on one second. Somebody request. Oh, let's take a look at VIVK. What's VIVK up to now? What is it doing? Oh my! Broke the high of day. VIVK. There we go. Broke the high of day. VIVK needs volume to break $3.19, which is the new high of day. VIVK. VIVK needs volume to break the new high a day at $3.19 for it to be somewhat schmaxy to mia. There we go. Yeesh. Yeesh. All right. Good. 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 Right there. Hold on. Let's get some orange juice in me. All right. All right. All right. All right. Oh, and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out our wonderful 4-day trial for the real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comments section. So be sure to check that out, because we pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We're just made different, and the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cash, shoulder, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes, sir. So yeah, be sure to check that out. All right, it's $9.99 for the first 4 days. So yeah, you got that going on right there. 4-day trial for only $9.99. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hold on one second. All right. And then, of course, ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Oh, there we are. All right. And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out our merch store right over here. Check out our lovely, wonderful merch store. We got all sorts of cool stuff in the merchandising store right there. We got all sorts of cool stuff in the merch store. Starting off, we got t-shirts. We've got hoodies. We've got cup and handles, or what, well, mugs, but I like to call them cup and handles, right? We got mouse pads. We got tumblers, which are basically those things that keep your drink cold or keep your drink hot, whichever one. We got, well, actually, it's both, but we got other stuff too. Like, for example, we got stickers, we got mouse pads, all sorts of cool stuff, just in case you want to start repping the Banger Nation and showing support to the stream. You can by basically clicking the link in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So yeah, be sure to check that out right there. And of course, be sure to check out our new 3-month deal for a limited time only, starting at $66.67 per month, charged quarterly, right there. It's a 3-month deal, so that's basically, you know, what you get going on there, right? You know what I mean? That's what you got going on right there. And it's for a limited time only, ladies and gentlemen. So act now while supplies last, ladies and gents. Get it while supplies last. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let's see here. We Let's get a share party going. Let's get the 1400, 1400, 1400, 1400. How you guys doing, though, ladies and gentlemen? How you guys doing? By the way, did you know that I found out about a certain type of sauce that's put on hot dogs that I finally found out what it was. So days ago, I was talking about hot dogs, right? And there was a special kind of sauce. It was made with like a tomato paste type of deal, and like some caramelized onions and other things. That's really good that a lot of New York hot dog stands used to put on their hot dogs, right? So basically, what they would do is they would put, these, you know, they basically take the hot dog, they put this red type of tangy sauce on it. It was like tangy and savory at the same time, right? And they basically take it, they basically show you that right there. And actually, let me see if I have it right here. What was it called, man? I forget what it was called. All right. It was called. It was called Sabret onion sauce. It was a very interesting sauce, and I recently found out what the name was yesterday because I would eat because like the thing is we'd go to the city sometimes back when Coach and I were still in New York, and we'd go to the city sometimes, and on occasion we'd get those hot dogs, right? And they put the Sabret onion dressing in there, right? And basically what it was like it was like a savory spiced red tomato and ketchup base, right? And they'd have thinly sliced onions, usually something yellow or Spanish, right? They'd use ketchup or tomato paste for that signature red color, right? They'd use water and vinegar for the simmering liquid, right? Some warm spices and like a tiny pinch of cinnamon, nothing crazy, which is ironic because I don't normally like cinnamon, but it's not really noticeable, right? They put garlic powder in there, some smoked paprika, and then sugar for like a hint of sweetness, right? But nothing crazy. And some people would add spicy brown mustard for for that extra flavor, right? Because it had that sweetness, that savoriness, and then you add the spicy brown mustard, and all of a sudden it's got a whole new flavor with a spicy punch to it. It's actually really, really good. So yeah, I found out about that yesterday, and I was surprised. I'm like, wow, really? And I found out that they actually serve it at a store, at some stores near me. So I'm gonna be getting that, man, because Mama Money actually stated that she's planning on making some hot dogs on Friday. You know what I mean? Something, something different, right? Because we don't normally eat hot dogs, right? So she's like, you know what? We're gonna have some hot dogs on Friday, right? We just gotta chill, have a good time, right? Do our thing, and yeah, basically that's the gist of it, man. Like, she said I'm gonna see if I can find that sauce because she loves that sauce, Mama Money. She likes that sauce. She said, yeah, no, it brings me back. It brings me back to when I would go to the carts and just get a hot dog. Like sometimes she'd go to like her like favorite little dining areas and stuff like that. She'd just be chilling, right, with DBL moms back when they were, back when they was younger, right? Because DBL moms is a daughter, right? And she would basically they'd go to like these restaurants and stuff like that. But when they weren't in the mood to go to a restaurant, they just go get a hot dog from a cart, right? And then they would just straight up be like, you know what? Get that Sabret onion sauce right there, and they love that sauce. And then they introduced it to me as well back when I was a wee lad. You know, Coach was there too, and yes, we would just chill. So yeah, no, on occasion we sometimes do eat the hot dogs and just chill. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. Yeesh, yeesh. Although I will tell a funny story. And by funny story, I'm like, it is kind of, it was something that you don't see every day. All right. So I'm, I was watching YouTube, right? Just chilling out, right? And all right, so there is a guy who is a hot dog eating champion. Right, guy's name is Joey Chestnut. I think lots of people have actually heard about the guy, right? They've heard about him. And funny thing is that, while he was doing a hot dog eating contest, there sometimes during these types of contests and things like that, some people don't really know personal boundaries or personal space. So this guy ran up on the stage and like made a nuisance of himself. All right, mid hot dog eating contest, got decked right in the schnoz. Just went bow by Joey Chestnut. Joey Chestnut not only decked this guy, but then he proceeded to stuff 10 glizzies in his mouth. I'm like, yo, what? Sir, I'm sorry? I was not ready for that. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna watch the contest, right? Because sometimes it's kind of cool to like see the hot dog eating contest or like a gyro eating contest. There's like a contest for eating everything, right? So it's kind of fun to watch sometimes for me because it's like, oh, this is really cool, right? Like if I'm like running on the treadmill or something, I'll watch something like crazy just to keep myself amused, right? And keep that pacing because sometimes I'll just like get distracted if I'm just running on a treadmill and not listening to music or I'm not watching something, right? I'm not gonna be, you know, like I'll feel it in my legs and I'll just be like, all right. I'm not really feeling this. But like if I'm watching something, and I guess it's like the ADHD, just like ooh. So if I'm not watching something, right, I'll get bored. I will get bored. I'll be like, oh God, why? Or if I'm not listening to music, I will get bored. So I saw this, and I couldn't help but laugh because I'm like, I can't believe this man said, "Bing!" Just bapped the guy right in the noggin. Guy ran off and then proceeded to, and then Joey Chestnut just went with like three, just like kept eating. Bro didn't lose a step. He just kept going. Was that a hot dog? Yes, sir. Yep, that's the one. That's the sauce right there. That's the sauce right there. Mama Money and I were like racking our brains trying to remember the name for it. We were racking our brains trying to remember the name for it. It's sabret, onions, and sauce right there, right? So we were racking our brains like for like
The
about
bell!
ooh the bell,
The bell!
the bell,
The bell!
yeesh, the bell. But yeah, we were racking our brains for like I don't know, maybe about 15, 20 minutes trying to figure out what that thing was yesterday. And we finally figured out what the sauce was. We're like, oh yeah, if that's the sauce, we got to get that sauce. She's like, if I find it, because like sometimes it's sold in Publix, sometimes it's sold in Walmart, right? And it's like, okay, you know, I, this makes sense. Okay, cool, this tracks, right? Other times, other times there were like other things that were like ridiculous. Like for example, Coach and I went to like BJ's. If you don't know what BJ's is basically Costco's rival. Oh, I remember those. What are those? Oh, the Knish?
Knishes.
The Knish.
The
Oh,
Knish.
I was about to tell them about the Knish. You beat me to it. You remember how we went to BJ's, which is like Costco's like it's like a rival to Costco really,
Mhm.
right? And we found knishes. We found potato knishes. That's a potato knish, by the way, for those of you guys who don't know. Potato knishes are absolutely amazing. Okay, so the thing about the potato knish is that, like, Coach and I had them when we were, obviously, when I was a lot younger, we would have them sometimes, either as like a little snack or like sometimes for dinner, right? Depending on, like, what we were in the mood for. And Coach and I, we used to work out like a lot, right? We still do, but I mean, like, we used to work out a lot, right? And the thing is, right, we would always come home starving because we normally we wouldn't really be, we'd be so focused on working out that we kind of forget, like, where did the time go type of deal. And so we kind of forget to go eat something, right? So we would be ravaging the fridge as soon as we get home, right? And one time we got home at like midnight. It was hilarious, right? So Coach and I were working out, which we did a lot of because back then it was like Coach and I, we did lots of martial arts, lots of kickboxing, lots of cardio, all sorts of stuff like that. And the thing is, when you do a lot of that stuff, I think you could talk to like any athlete, be it a football player, a basketball player, right, or like a martial artist or a kickboxer, or literally anybody that's just a cardio junkie, and they will specifically look at you and say yes. Like, you get a big appetite, you build up an appetite when you work out a lot, right? So I remember Coach and I would raid the fridge. We'd find all sorts of cool stuff. So other times we just like go to like some restaurant if there was one open at like 12 at night, 12 in the morning, and like practically the friggin' witching hour, which is food. So DVO Mom's, right? She's perfectly tucked away. Ooh, is that a roast beef sandwich? What? Pastrami on rye.
Yes, sir.
Ooh, with the.
Pastrami on rye.
Yeah, I know, but pastrami on rye with the mustard, and you got
Ben's
the.
Deli, baby.
Oh yeah, Ben's Deli. Ben's Deli makes some of the best coleslaw. I'm not a coleslaw guy. I'm not, but the way they do it, they make a great coleslaw. I'm just saying that coleslaw is amazing. That is a wonderful coleslaw, right? Like, I don't like coleslaw normally. They make it amazingly to the point that it's not like overwhelmingly like saucy and weird. It's like it actually tastes good. It's just the right amount of sweetness, but you could taste the vegetables and it's like, oh yeah, that's the stuff right there. Now that's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? And yeah, AMIX, by the way, hit 85%. 85% on a massive price spike. All right, 85% on AMIX. AMIX, oh my, 93% right there. 95%. Hold on. Whoa there. 95% on AMIX right there. Oh my. AMIX is, oh my, 95% right there. Ooh. AMIX up 95, 98%, 100%. AMIX, another bagger. 109%, 112, 116. 116% on AMIX. Oh my gration. Oh my. Oh my goodness. AMIX up 116%. I think it halted actually a little bit there. Did it halt?
Looks like it.
Yeah, it looks like it halted. AMIX price spike. Massive price spike. Up 116%. New bagger. Yesh. Alright, AMIX now another price spike. This one is a new bagger up 116%. Massive price spike right there, ladies and gentlemen. Massive price spike. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Needs to break the new high a day at $5.96, right there. So we got that going on right there. That's what we got going on right there. All right. Yes. So Coach and I would practically raid the fridge at like some ungodly hour, you know, because like there were times where we'd eat lunch, and then there were times where like we'd work out, we'd kind of forget, oh, we forgot to eat something. You know what I mean? And yeah, basically there was that. So we'd just be chilling, doing our thing, right? And then we'd come home. Now DBL Moms by that point was like asleep, right? Because we would be working out a lot. We'd be teaching classes, right? You know, kickboxing, martial arts, etc. Because we did that back in the day, right? Even me, when I was a young kid, I was helping out with that, and where I could, right? And so, yeah, and I loved it. I loved every day of it. Like there was always those like gentle, there were like those very very happy memories, right? Very very happy memories. So and goofy ones. DBL Moms wanted to maim us as soon as we got through the door, cause she's sleeping. All of a sudden, she hears the door open at like 12 at night. You see, she sees the key. She hears the keys. Door opens. We come in there. We're like listening to music. We're chilling out, listening like a little bit of freestyle, just chilling, right? We're bringing the party inside, like yeah, we're listening to music, man. Typical 12 o'clock New Yorker action. But and she wakes up. She's like, "Excuse me, where?" She's like, "You goobers did not just come in at 12 o'clock on listening to freestyle music while just, you know, while dancing around like a bunch of goobers after, you know, after a long night of training, and now you're like raiding the fridge, and we're just going ham there. We're grabbing grapes. I remember like we grabbed like a bag of grapes, right, and we're just chowing down, like washing the grapes, just I pass them to coach. Coach goes, "Yeah." He grabs the grapes. We start washing the grapes in there. We get like a big bowl of grapes, and we're just chilling, man. We're like, and DVL Mom's like, "Oh my god, did you guys eat it all?" Nope. She looks at us like, "I can't believe you. Oh my god, why did you eat anything? You were kind of busy." Ah, all right. So she just goes and she's like, "All right, let me heat you guys up something. All right, after that, you both go to. All right, you're going to the shower. You're going to the shower. All right, both of you go take a shower. All right, because we were working out and stuff. All right, so we did that, and yeah, basically she'd cook up something real nice too, right? Be it like tacos or whatever it was for dinner, right? And we would chow down on that, and it was like the happiest thing. It was 12 in the morning. We didn't mind. I had school tomorrow. It was whatever, right? But it was just those little tiny moments that were always very fun, very nice, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share, because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring, and of course, if you want access to our private Discord, link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section, so be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We're just made different, and the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. And AMIX, by the way, is up 131%. Oh my goodness, 144. Okay, I'm gonna just put that up there real quick before we head out. AMIX now up 144%. 144%. Boom. Yes. Yes, we called it, ladies and gentlemen. Called it, baby. Yeah. All right. Oh, migration. All right. All right, all right, all right. Mm-hmm. There we go. All right, good. All right, so, yes. Be sure to follow us on our YouTube at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money, where we do all sorts of live streams, stock reviews, stock analysis, long form videos, short form videos, etc. We do all that cool stuff. Be sure to check us out on our X.com, aka Twitter, at Coaching Money.
At Coach Money.
At Coaching Money, where we do all sorts of live streaming, stock reviews, and stock analysis as well there. Be sure to check us out on our wonderful Twitch at Coaching Money.
At Coach Money.
At Coaching Money, where we do lots of live streaming. Be sure to check us out on our Facebook at Coaching Money.
At Coaching Money.
At Coaching Money, where we do all sorts of live streaming there, as well as stock reviews and stock analysis. Be sure to check us out on our TikTok, Tiki Taki, aka the Tac Tac. The Tac Tac. You can find us there at DBL Nicks. At DBL NICKS, and the screen name is Coach Nick Money. Money, 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 money. Money. Yes, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check us out on our Instagram and threads at Coaching Money.
At Coaching Money.
At Coaching Money, of course. All right, where we do lots of stock reviews and stock analysis there. Be sure to show us some love on those platforms right there. Be sure to show us some love right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Be sure to also stay tuned for the 1:30 p.m. show for Power Play, hosted by the legend himself, Coach Nick Money, as he traverses the stock market prior to the Power Hour. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And basically what Coach likes to do is he likes to keep an eye on the stock market, and he likes to let the stock simmer on high heat with a little bit of paprika, a little bit of Sazone, a little bit of cumin, a little bit of turmeric, a little bit of tagine, all that good stuff right there. All right. And yeah, he basically likes to hang around and just do his thing there. And, of course, it's going to be during Shark Week as the Banger Nation makes their way to the beautiful San Francisco. Yes. San Diego?
San Diego, bro.
Oh, okay. San Francisco was the... Okay, I mixed them up. San Diego, excuse me. I think there was like a show for that. Carmen San Diego? I don't remember. Anyways, but yes, be sure to check that out at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right there. And while Coach is waiting for the stonks to move, he's trying to get some dubs for the community, right? He even got some. He got two real good ones yesterday. Again, he got a 20.7 win ratio in build and 35.1% win ratio in zero build. So he's got that going on right there. Yes, sir. All right. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it for us. So, quick thing before we wrap up. If you've been watching and you're serious about small caps, don't just sit on the outside trying to piece it together, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a 4-day full access pass for $9.99, as well as a 3-month full access pass for $66.67 per month, charged quarterly, right? And it's full access, so you come inside, you get to see how we actually operate live. You get to see how we structure our trade ideas, how we map levels, how we think about risk, how we handle momentum. You'll get next day early watch list, as well as 24/7 market news flow, which is actually being shown on the right hand side of the screen. It comes complete with the actual article, a hyperlink to said article, a synopsis about the article, as well as the ticker that is affiliated with the news within said article that also has a hyperlink. So you got that going on as well, so you can learn more about the stock, so you can do your own due diligence right there. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, you get access to the 24/7 market news flow, which, all right, and of course the pre-market, regular hours, and after-hours scanners, which are complete with the ticker, price, volume, float, change in percentage, what time it was scanned, whether the stock has moved up or down, as well as hyperlinks to learn more about each of the stocks being looked at by the scanner, so you can do your own due diligence that way as well. You also get access to our ticker tape, built to catch stocks when they're starting to heat up, but before they go parabolic, complete with hyperlinks as well, because, ladies and gentlemen, we don't do noise, we do structure, and we like to have everything at the touchy of a button right there for you, so that's all you got to do. So, if that's how you want to approach this market, grab the 4-day pass or the limited time 3-month pass. Again, time's limited to get it, so be sure to get it, ladies and gentlemen, and come see it live. The link to join is in the description down below, as well as the pinned comments section, so be sure to check it out. And when you come in, let us know you saw us on the stream. We'd love to hear from you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it for me. Much love. Take care of yourselves. It's Double Nicks. I love you guys, and I'll see you at 1:30 p.m. for Power Play. Much love.